video here. I am finally getting to my Anime North 2014 vlog and how I thought about it, stuff like that. So I apologize for the long wait because I'm just lazy like that, and I've been reading manga and watching anime and having a barbecue and stuff like that. So lots of stuff going around here. But now it's time to do it. I've waited long enough. It's a week now, so I've had enough time to get my thoughts and everything together, and it's time for the video. But before I do that, I just want to mention that I will be throwing in pictures that me and my girlfriend took at this convention, and it's going to be throughout the video. So instead of just sitting here looking at me the whole time, you're going to see some pictures flash up and stuff like that. So first off, we get the badge, which is a beautiful badge. I have it over there, but I really don't want to get it. But it's a beautiful badge. It's better than last year's, I think, or the year before that. The last time I went was 2 years ago, so yeah. It's a much nicer badge, nicer graphic on it. I think it's even a little bit bigger, but anyways. We also get the booklet. This is the handheld book. Well, this isn't a handheld one, but this is a booklet that we get at the convention. It shows you, tells you all the information you need on the convention, all the guests, all the signings, all of the dealers. It lists all of the dealers in here. It tells you some of the rules and regulations of the convention and stuff like that. It's all kind of in here. Now, if you didn't get this one, you got a smaller one, a smaller handheld one, which I don't actually have anymore because I threw it out, I think, or I can't find it. But it's one where it actually shows you the floor plan of the whole convention and where every single thing is. And that one was really crucial. We used it quite a bit, or at least I used it quite a bit. I'm not too sure if my girlfriend did, but I used it frequently on Friday, and I used it a little bit on Saturday. That thing is really handy. It tells you all the times of everything, and I thought it was, it could have been done a little bit better, but I thought it was done decently. Enough enough for people to understand it. The lineups this year were actually really good. I have to admit, we weren't in line for very long. You know, the doors open at 10 o'clock for the dealer's room, and we lined up around maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the doors opened, and we were pretty much in there, like, as soon as the doors opened, we were in there maybe 10 minutes after. So it was really well done this year. I thought it flowed in perfectly. Like I said, the wait time wasn't very much at all, except Friday. Friday I had to wait a little bit, but that's okay. I went on Friday by myself, and yeah, I mean, I had to wait a little bit for that to get into the dealer room there, but not too much. I mean, we're not talking hours upon hours here. We're just talking about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Yeah, it was so easy. It was smooth. It was like piece of cake. I mean, Friday night it was really busy. Like, it was packed. It was really packed in there. It was hard to move in some areas on the floor, especially around some of the statue dealers who specialize in selling the scale figures. They were like just jam-packed. It was just like, ugh, so hard to get in there. And of course, I got in there a little bit late, so all of the figures I wanted were all sold out, and I couldn't do anything about it. But um, I did manage to find another figure the next day, which I showed you guys already in my last video. But yeah, Friday was pretty crazy. There was so much people. The flea market, which they hold a flea market there called Naminaguchi or something like that. I totally butchered that. But it's basically a flea market where people can come in and sell their own things and get rid of all their junk and stuff like that. And I went through it. Well, I didn't get to go through all of it because I was just running short on time. But I went through like at least 85% of it, at least. And I was going around and I was just looking at those prices are astronomical. They were crazy. People are insane if they think people are going to buy stuff used for like brand new prices. Like fucking crazy people, man. There's a lot of crafts and stuff like that also in the flea market, which was pretty interesting. People make their own things and try and sell them there and stuff like that. A lot of video games were there as well. Tons of video games. Yeah, so the flea market was pretty cool. That was my very first time going to this flea market. I enjoyed it. I'll probably go back again next year, see if I can actually find some sort of a deal somewhere for something. But yeah, I mean, I don't have, like, my hopes aren't really high for that, but yeah. So that's the flea market. Also in the area is a tabletop thing that was going on. A couple of my friends own a company, a board game company, and they set up a table there, and they were doing demonstrations of games and stuff like that. The company is called Wood for Sheep. If you're interested, check it out. I'll flash the link somewhere here on my page here, somewhere in here. Sorry, messing up words and stuff. But yeah, they were demonstrating stuff. We went by a couple times and just talked with them, chilled with them. We actually picked up some figures for them because they were stuck at their booth for so long. Yeah, they did a great job doing it. I saw a lot of games being played. A lot of people seem to be having a great time. They sold a lot of stuff. Tanto curry, Tanto Kuro, or I don't know how to say it, but that was the maid game. It was pretty popular. They sold, I don't know if they sold out, but can't remember. But it was a big game, and yeah, people bought it like crazy. But that was pretty fun to watch. I mean, they had this whole huge, gigantic room just for board gaming, and card gaming and stuff like that. And everybody, it was really spacious, so everybody had kind of their own space. So you're not too crammed in together. So that was nice. It was nicely ventilated. It was, it was just a nice room. So that was tabletopping, I don't know, but that was the gaming section, board game section. That was pretty cool. Artist's Alley, that was another pretty cool thing. I didn't exactly find what I was looking for, but I did find two prints that I've already shown you guys, that I thought were beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I picked them up, and I still have them. They're framed on my wall right now. So yeah, absolutely love them. As for the rest of the artwork, it was just mediocre to me. It was just kind of mediocre. I mean, my girlfriend bought some prints as well, and those prints were very, very well done. Especially the Princess Mononoke one, which I do have here, but I'll snap a picture of it and throw the picture in here, and you guys can take a look at that. Yeah, I mean, also the Anohana one that she got, which was just kind of hand drawn, and it was just, oh man, it looked really good. So I mean, she did get some really good prints, so you'll see pictures of them on here. I'll throw them up. But for the most part, other than the exceptions that we made, there really wasn't anything eye-catching, anything just like, oh my god, that's amazing, you know. It was just all mediocre stuff, and there was tons of Kill la Kill stuff. It was just overkill. It was just like Kill la Kill. Every stall had something of Kill la Kill. It was just like, okay, enough's enough, you know. Like, sure, it was a great anime, but like, fucking relax already, you know. Like, same with cosplay. There's just like tons of cosplay of Kill la Kill just everywhere. Artist Alley was a little bit disappointing for me because I was hoping to get more prints. I was hoping to at least get out of there with 5 or 6, but you know, I came out with 2. Yeah, so I am a little disappointed in Artist Alley, but it was fun. There was also a craft section beside Artist Alley, which are people who just make their own things and sell them. So I don't know what they called that section, but it's probably a part of Artist Alley because it was right beside it. But it was very different. It wasn't artwork. It was more like trinkets and knitting and all that kind of shit. And gemstones actually as well. Yeah, that whole section, I didn't really go through it too much because nothing seemed that great. But, you know, I have tons of respect for the people who do that. It's just, maybe it's just not my thing. I don't know. I just didn't really like it that much, so I just stayed away from it. I mean, I went through it once, all the way around, and I saw everything. I was just like, okay, this really isn't my thing. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't know how much more to say about that. You know, I don't have anything else to say about that. I mean, it was cool looking at all that stuff, but it's not something I would actually invest in. So let's go to the dealer room next. The dealer room was where we spent majority of our time. I kind of knew that was going to happen. This was my girlfriend's very first time at this convention. It's actually, I think it's this is her second convention. And I knew deep down that we were going to spend majority of our time in the dealer room. That's just how it is. Your very first time going through a convention, the very first thing that you want is to consume as much as possible. And you want to buy everything that is on your list and find the good deals and, you know, tough it out with the dealers and try and make deals and stuff like that. And I know she's very passionate about finding deals, and she likes to like really argue prices. And so I knew she was going to be in there for a long time. You know, Friday, she came late on Friday, so she didn't really have a lot of time in the dealer room on Friday. But Saturday morning, it just, boom, started. Just like, I think we were in there for like 7 hours or something, or 6 or 7 hours. Just like, whew, man, I was beat. I was exhausted. My legs felt like jelly. You know, like it just, it was crazy. It's just like we were there so long. For the most part, the dealing room for me was disappointing. Not many deals to be had. Not a lot of people willing to work with you on pricing. You know, that's not to say that there weren't any. There were definitely people willing to bargain, but you'd have to pick the right things that you want to bargain for. And those things, I wasn't interested in those things. I was interested in other things, and they weren't willing to bargain, so I got stuck. But all the dealers there were actually like the actual dealers, and the actual material that they brought to the convention was pretty decent. There was a lot of variety there. There was Nendoroid Petites, there were Nendoroids, there was Figmas, there were scale figures, there was manga, there was tons of video games. There was random art books, a lot of trinkets, a lot of body pillows, tons of body pillows everywhere. Regular pillows, lots and lots and lots of plushies too. Lots of plushies. I definitely wanted to get a plushie too, but didn't want to pay that price. And a lot of wall scrolls, a lot of weaponry for some reason, tons of weaponry, and lots of manga. If I didn't say that already, but yeah, there was tons of manga. I think that was the most thing there was manga. It took up a lot of room, and yeah, but yeah, the floor plan of the dealer room was really great. It was very flowy. It wasn't too crammed. It wasn't too cramped. Some dealers, I think, should have had more room, more space, because they're more popular with people. So it would have been a little bit easier for people to maneuver around the area, because you know, you have like maybe 50 people piled in that one corner, and it's really difficult to get in and see stuff, and you know, they should have had a bigger stall. But yeah, anyways, that's the dealer room. Yeah, overall, I mean, I expected for us to be in there for that amount of time, because it was her first time at a convention, that like a really good convention where the dealers were like, had everything that we needed, or everything she needed, I should say. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect that to happen next year. Next year we're gonna go to more panels and more relaxing. You know, we are gonna spend lots of time in the dealer room, but we're gonna try and balance it off with everything else, so we're not completely exhausted by the end of the weekend. Because come Sunday night, like, I was completely wiped. Like, it took me 2 days to recover, fully recover from Anime North. It was crazy. Yeah. So that's the dealer room. I'm gonna end it there. So next up is the panels. The panels, there were quite a few panels that I did want to check out. But because we were so wrapped up in the dealer room, we kind of just ignored the panels. So, I mean, there was a Kill la Kill one that I kind of wanted to see. There was some sort of hentai one in like the middle of the night that I wanted to see. There was something about Japan, the journeys of Japan, or how to get around in Japan, or how to live in Japan, something like that. I wanted to see that one too. I can't remember now. There was a whole bunch of them in this book. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch that I just sort of interested me. So, I mean, we marked it all off in our book and everything, that these were the times that we should be there and stuff like that. But I don't know, we just kind of passed on it because we were so engrossed in the dealer room, you know, and yeah, I'm unfortunately, I kind of regret that, because there were some panels that, you know, sometimes you just want to take a break, and, you know, for an hour sitting down listening to somebody or watching something. I mean, sometimes that's nice to do, you know, and but that's not the kind of thoughts that I had when I was at the convention, right? It was just like I was in the dealer room, so I was in the heat of the moment, and I was just going around, looking at things, reading things here and there, and taking my time and relaxing, walking around, stuff like that. So I didn't really think of the panels, and there were times where I just completely forgot that panels existed, and I was just like, oh shit, we just missed a panel. And, you know, I don't know. I definitely want to keep an eye on that next year. I definitely want to attend more panels. So that's pretty much panels. I don't really have anything much to say on them because I didn't go to many of them. I only went to one, right? So, um, yeah. Actually, what I will say about the panels is that they're jam packed with people. I think the rooms are just too small for the amount of people that some of these panels generate. It's just crazy. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, that's panels. Um, what's next? Cosplay. Cosplay is the highlight of another highlight of this year. Cosplay was crazy. There was just tons and tons and tons of cosplay. I think this was the most I have ever seen of cosplay. Like, it seemed like every other person was in cosplay. It was just that many people. It was crazy. And a lot of them are really, really good, like just beautifully made, and just you just have to like sit there and just like stare at them for like 5 minutes and just be like, holy shit, that's just like amazing. You know, and take pictures and videos, and oh man, it was just a never ending time of cosplay. It was just crazy. My girlfriend was really the one that took a lot of pictures with cosplayers. There wasn't really many characters that I completely enjoyed, so I didn't really, bother taking pictures with them. But I don't know. There was tons of people. You're seeing by now. You've seen tons of pictures fly by, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of the cosplay already. I guess the next thing would be is staff. The staff were very helpful. We had a friend who is on the staff help us out, and he helped us out tremendously. I cannot tell you how much this man helped us out. He was a lifesaver, and I thank him very much for that. You know, you know, we wanted to repay him a little bit, and but I just don't think it was enough, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thank him so much for what he did for us. So yeah, staff amazing. I mean, I had no problems with the staff at all. Um, what else? I think that's it. So overall, I mean, my time at Anime North this year, I would say was really good. Actually, one last thing I want to mention is the hotel. We stayed at a hotel at the Sheraton Four Points, which is just a 5-minute drive. It was beautiful. It was clean. It was just everything you would want from a hotel. It's very basic. It's nothing really really fancy. It's nothing too expensive. Yeah, I think the hotel was perfect. I have no problems with it. I mean, it was a little far from the convention, and it would have been nice to just stay at a convention really close where we could just walk back and forth. But I didn't mind the drive going there and back. I mean, it was a nice break from the convention. It felt like we were at a convention, but we were far enough away from the convention when we left it that it felt like normal life, you know? Where we weren't like submerged in the whole convention for the whole time. So I liked it. I liked that distance from the convention, and I actually liked the hotel. It was a good hotel. So yeah. Anyways, to conclude, I think this was a great convention. I know my girlfriend had a great time. She had a big haul, made her very, very happy, made me very happy to see that. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna go next year, and we're gonna have a ball, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, very good convention. Very good convention. Highly suggest that if you're in the area, or if you live in Toronto or Mississauga, or if you want to actually travel from the US to here, for this convention, I highly recommend it because it's a great time. There is tons of people. I don't know how many people. There was thousands upon thousands. Just like insane amount of people. But it's so fun. This year they actually had food trucks outside as well. But they are expensive. But it's nice that they had them out there for food options. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I highly recommend you go to this convention, do some research on it. But if you're already in the anime community, I'm pretty sure you already know about this convention. So yeah. So anyways, that's going to do it for me. And thanks again for watching, guys. I will be back with another video very shortly. And see you guys again soon. Peace.